What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Sunday. It's the start of the week. It's Lions Talk Live. It's the morning show edition. And yes, training camp kicks off in all earnest. All the players are in. All the rookies have checked in, been tucked into bed, got ready from MCDC. Bed checks have been made. And yes, yesterday, the veterans all checked in, and now they are all on hand. The roster's full. What's going to happen from here? Well, that's part of the fun of this. We get to all Scooby-Doo. We get to speculate what's going to happen this week. We have live reports from players on the field, people in the stands, watching everything go down. You got the Hall of Fame game in less than 2 weeks, so we get it. NFL is back, and the Detroit Lions are with us. So with that, we're going to go into the main topic of the day. As you probably tell from today's thumbnail, there are some probably players of interest for sure on this year's team. Some undrafted rookies. We're going to break down each of them, the big ones at least, that probably, at least I'm assuming, have the best chance of making the team. Why maybe they would make it, why maybe they want it, maybe they get put on the practice squad. We'll have to see what the Dew Crew says about each of these guys, because as we all know, this might be the deepest Lions team in NFL history, or at least in a few billion years. I don't know, a real long time. Because of that depth, are there going to be some upsets? Are there going to be some guys left off the 53? Are some of these undrafted rookies going to beat out a proven veteran? I don't know. We'll get into it in the main topic of the day during the 5 headlines now. We've even got the first 53-man roster prediction in the 5 headlines now, so we'll get into all that news for you guys today. Before we get into all that news this morning, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march for 14,000 subs. We are 77 subs away from that. So, man, if you haven't subbed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, while you're hitting that subscribe button, reach on over, left, right, center, I don't know where it is on your screen, and hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons while you're at it. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but most certainly never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the United States of America, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. I'll see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Been in the industry for over 30 years, so if you want somebody to be your watchdog, make sure you're not overcharged over this, that, and the other thing. When buying vacant property, new commercial building, old commercial building, new house for you, the wife, the family, the kids, whatever it is, if it's real estate related, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see that number on your screen. All right, with all that done, out of the way, let's get the show rocking and rolling and going and kicking off with 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines heading your way. Former NFL quarterback says Detroit Lions will just reload. SI.com, story by Vito Scerrito. In case you were unaware, Cam the Man Newton is apparently a bit of an MCDC fan, and yes, the Detroit Lions fan. He hosts his own show on YouTube. He also is, most of you guys know, on national media as well, talking about the NFL, talking about the Detroit Lions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's probably a bit of a beat-up topic going into the season, but there are many talking about the Lions are going to go through some struggles this year because Aaron Glenn has moved on to become a head coach. Same with Ben Johnson. It's going to take the new OC, DC some time to get used to the roles. The players get used to them, yada, yada, yada. You guys all get it. But Cam Newton, the former Carolina Panthers, and he did play for some other teams, but most notably the Carolina Panthers, he did talk on his popular YouTube show, 4th and 1 with Cam Newton. And basically, in a nutshell, I'm going to paraphrase here. He thinks the Lions are not going to slow down in any way, shape, or form. He thinks the Lions are going to go out there. The offense is going to be pretty dang good once again. The defense, he did say he anticipates is going to be better than it was last year or even the year before. And the Lions defense, when healthy last year, was one of the NFL's best. You could argue it was, top 5, top 3, something like that. The year prior, did they have some deficiencies? That's a story for another time, but yeah, I think you guys get it. He goes on to talk about a lot of different things, why he likes the promoting from within for the most part with the Detroit Lions, OC and DC. John Morton, was he with the team last year? No. Was he with it prior? Yes. Did he basically help build the current version of the Detroit Lions offense? That's also true. So Cam Newton, why he said sometimes change is a thing, it's not always a death sentence for teams. He thinks the Detroit Lions, this might be one of the best teams in the NFL, again, paraphrasing from him, and he does anticipate the Detroit Lions will be one of the teams really contending for the Super Bowl this year. Kudos to Cam Newton for going out and saying kind words of wisdom about the Detroit Lions. All right, next to the 5 headlines now, NFL free agency, Panthers. And I brought this up after yesterday's topic, main topic today. But Panthers should be eyeing former Browns and Lions Ed Rusher by Russell Baxter of Carolina Panthers on SI.com. We're starting to see more and more of this information emerge in recent weeks. There are some other outlets, other teams starting to look at Zadarius Smith. And I know we all want him back, but he hasn't signed here yet. As Russell Baxter points out, he thinks he would be an ideal fit for the Carolina Panthers because they do have some good young talent. He thinks Zadarius would be able to come in, help right away, help make that unit, that defensive line better while helping more or less as a coach on the field with these guys growing and developing. I think as we get into training camp, the real interesting question is the further we go into training camp and if he hasn't signed with the Detroit Lions, if an injury happens here or there, especially to a contender, I think that's where his asking price probably starts jumping quite a bit. If you are a Super Bowl front runner out there and you've got a defensive edge who goes down, I'm going to assume Zadarius Smith is going to be a quick phone call away to see, hey, what can we do to pull you away from Detroit and get you here? Brad Holmes, I know a lot of you guys left tons of great comments yesterday on the video. I did not have time to get back to them all. We were having a busy day yesterday. But here's what I can say. The vast majority of Lions fans who left messages or whatever on yesterday's video, everybody seems to have the mindset that maybe Brad Holmes and the Lions have moved on from Zadarius. Now, there was a big bunch of you guys that also felt, hey, we're just going to wait. The team's waiting until this particular time to sign him. After week 1 came up a whole lot. There's other people that still say, hey, Zadarius just enjoying the summer. I'm not sure what the story is with Zadarius Smith. I think right now we're all kind of flipping a coin and hoping we're right with whatever the outcome is. I want him to be a Detroit Lion. I know a lot of you want him to be a Detroit Lion. Now, whether or not that ends up happening, I guess all we can do is wait and see. All right, Detroit Lions 2025 training camp schedule with dates for open and joint practices, story by the Sporting News. All right, let me pull this one up. And you know what? Let me tell you what. Let me see if I can get this one up on the screen just so we can all look at it together. I mean, hey, not that I don't mind being on your screens, but sometimes you probably want to see something else other than me. All right, and there we go. So let me just scroll down. All right, not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know most of you guys have probably done your own homework and due diligence on all this stuff. 2025 training camp schedule. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger for your respective screens. Even get that off the way for you. All right, July 26th, Lions loyal members. Gates open at 7:30 a.m. I know the Sarge, Tony Libretto, amongst others, are going to that one. July 28th, again, 7:30. Practice at 8:30 a.m. to begin. 29th, you see the consistency there. August 4th, Lions loyalty members. It begins at 6. Gates open at 5. General public on the 6. I mean, you can just screenshot this if you have interest in going or whatever have you. But as you can tell from here, 6 days from now, the Lions are out there. You got people going in to watch them. We're going to get all sorts of reports, information, and from there we go through training camp, even though things are bouncing all around my screen. Sorry about that. And it seems to have switched stories. And it did again. Well, anyways, you get it. Lions training camp is here. Let me get myself back on the screen. Hey, there we go. All right. Anyways, Lions. All right. Well, something's going on here. Hey, there we go. Sometimes you got to hit all the buttons. But anyways, you get it. Lions training camp's there. It's here. And what's going to happen? That's going to be part of the mystery of it all. All right, we got that story done for you. Not going to spend any more time on that one. Let me get over to the next one. And there we go. All right, final Detroit Lions 53-man roster prediction ahead of training camp. Story by Mike Payne of A to Z Sports. So we know in the next month and a half or so, we're going to get inundated almost on a daily basis with tons of these predictions. Until it's finalized, all it is a prediction. So don't hold it as the Bible. Don't think it's it's all settled just yet. Quarterback position, Mike Payton projects that in will be Jared Goff and Kyle Allen. Out will be Hendon Hooker. I don't know if I agree with it, but you know what? Doesn't matter what I agree. This is his prediction. And you know what? Hendon Hooker, does that mean he goes to the practice squad or that maybe we've traded him to something? Someone else, I should say. He puts in his notes, Allen has a lot more experience than Hendon Hooker, so he's going with him over Hooker at this time. Hooker, while he thinks has an opportunity to win the second backup spot for the Detroit Lions, doesn't think it's going to happen at this year, so he's got him off the 53-man roster. Running backs, this is another one I disagreed with. He's got Gibbs, Montgomery, and Sion Vaki as the three running backs on the 53-man roster. I personally think the Lions are going to keep 4 running backs out there, but this could be a segue into something we've talked about in recent days with the Detroit Lions wide receiver corps. Maybe the 4th running back in this scenario, if it held water, would come from the wide receiver room. He also thinks Craig Reynolds, Small are out on the team. Does point out that it's hard not to see Craig Reynolds with the team on the 53-man roster. But with that also being said, Craig Reynolds got a little bit older. He doesn't have quite the explosive speed he thinks John Morton wants from his backs. Also kind of segues into perhaps this is an indication one of the Lions or 2 of the Lions wide receivers might get some reps also at running back. All right, going on to wide receiver, he's projecting that the Lions keep 6 guys out there. So that's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Isaac Tesla, Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond, and Jackson Meeks. That's right, he's got Ronnie Bell, Tom Killer Kennedy, Dominic Lovett, amongst others not making the 53-man roster. I would say this with Jackson Meeks. If you talk about guys who could probably flex to running back in some limited capacity, we already know Amon-Ra St. Brown's done it in the past, mostly his rookie year, but could you also see Meeks do that? Could you see some of the other guys do that? I don't think you can see Timmy Patrick or Isaac Tesla do it, but there has been some speculation that Jameson Williams in certain situations could more or less be a slap back, running back, however you want to term it or word it. Tight ends, Sam I.M. Laporta is in, Brock Wright and Zach Horton, while Zylstra, Yarbrough, and Luke Deal are all out. Offensive linemen, I've been struggling with this one all off season because I think we've got such a gluttony of talent on the offensive line. Who do you keep? How many do you keep? That's probably the bigger question. He's got 9. Let's see what you guys have to say about it. Taylor Decker in, Graham Glasgow in, Christian Mahogany in, even though he broke him down into 2 different words there. But anyways, Tate Ratledge, Penei Sewell, Giovanni Manu, Dan Skipper, Miles Frazier, and Kingsley Ukwan are all in. Yode's out, Scoresdale's out, Jamarco Jones out, Nete Mutai's out, Michael Neese out, Mason Miller and Tristan Colleen all out. Miller, by the way, we'll be talking about during the main top of the day. I really like him. I think he's got the athleticism, the strength, the size, whatever. Again, we'll save that for the main topic of the day. Going on to the defense, he's got 10 defensive linemen making it. Let's see your thoughts on it. Aiden Hutchins, kind of a dud, no-brainer. Same with DJ Reader. Josh Pascal, Makai Wingo, Zadarius Smith, Roy Lopez, Tyleek Williams, Ahmed Hassanin, DeMarcus Davenport, and Mitchell Oguye. And we forget about him a lot. I thought he really panned out towards the end of the year. You could see the growth development. We all know he went to SAC U, etc. But this also means on the outside looking in is Alaquin Muhammad, who I really like, Broderick Martin. Probably most of you are cheering over that one. Miles Adams, especially with some of the injuries we have, I would be shocked if Miles Adams out there. That crazy Irishman, Patty O'Connor, I like his versatility. But again, you're seeing this is a very stacked room here. Chris Smith had some flashes last year. He's not going to do it this year, though, apparently, for the Detroit Lions. Isaac Ukwa is out. Nate Lynn out. Keith Cooper Jr. and Raquan Williams all out. pub list. No surprise here. Levi Onwuzurike and Aleem the Dream McNeil. Linebacker, 6 guys make it according to this list. Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell, Grant Stewart, Trevor Nowaski, and Zach Cunningham. It means Deron Gilbert, Anthony Pittman, and Ezekiel Turner are out. Pub list, not a big shocker here. That would be Rodrigo. Cornerbacks, keeping 6, and I can understand that 100%. DJ Reed, Taron Arnold, Enos Rakestraw, Amik Robinson, Yak Rasin, and Kalia Dorsey, although he's still recovering. That means Thomas Oliver's out, Bottle's out, and same with Russell. 2 guys that we just signed, like literally 15 seconds ago. They're on the outside looking in, but I think, again, most of us are probably not ultimately shocked by that. Part of the reason why the Lions keep 6, because you only keep 5 safeties. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Avante Maddox, Maurice Norris, and Miss Jackson is in. That also means Hallett's out. Strickland, man, I'd hate to see us lose Strickland. And I know until the Hunt, amongst others, will be sad to see Ian Kennelly is on the outside looking in. We could see some differences here. Like, I could see them keeping 4 safeties with basically a 7th cornerback, but really those corners and safeties, they're going to be interchangeable for the most part. Special teams, he's got no change here, and I don't think anybody really watching the show thought there would be a change in the special teams. Jake Bates, Jack Fox, and Hogan Hatton are all making it according to this list. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? I guess let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All right, last of the 5 glorious headlines now. Detroit Lions DJ Reed, quote, I feel like I'm a unicorn, end quote. Detroit Lions on SI by John Macarone. Not a big shocker to say that. Maybe he is a bit of a unicorn. Why is that? Because DJ Reed is one of very few cornerbacks in the league that held such high grades the last few years in both run defense and pass defense. He's a complete package. He might be 5'2" or whatever he is. I don't know, 5'9". He's not a big corner. We all understand that. But the dude is he is a meat missile out there slamming into people, showing total disregard for his body, taking on much larger human beings, and he takes them down. He doesn't require a lot of assistance when going and shutting down the edges from the quarterback spot. So show him a lot of love and praise for that. He understands every time he's probably on the wrong side of the poundage for both human beings slamming each other. One thing he does point out he wants to improve upon that did not go so great for him from a statistical standpoint last year is the amount of interceptions. He didn't get any last year. Some of that is the ball went other directions. Some of it, just happenstance. But DJ Reed wants to take this Detroit Lions defense to a whole new level, wants to continue to do what he does, and he talks about it in this interview. I think it's a real opening interview, real refreshing. Not many athletes will come out and say where they didn't do something great last year. They're trying to sugarcoat it. Hey, it's somebody else's fault. It's something else's fault or whatever. He owns it. He was like, hey, I could have had a few more interceptions last year. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but the ball didn't go my way. I need to do more. He wants to represent the Detroit Lions in the secondary. He wants to be the number 1 corner. He's going to challenge everybody else in the cornerback room to come up to his standards and try to push them, because he knows if they push him, he is getting better. He's making them better. And ultimately, that's better for the entire team. This comes from a CBS interview. So John Macarone with SI was a part of it, but CBS Sports conducted the interview. If you get a free moment today, you got a little time, might want to check it out. If you don't know much about DJ Reed, I think you're going to like him even more by the end of the day. All right, all that done, out of the way. Let's get this show on over to the main topic of the day. So what did you guys think of that 53-man roster prediction? Again, it's one person's opinion. We're going to have a billion of these. Mike Payton, I think, are we all going to agree with every pick on there? Probably not. But with that also being said, let's dive into some of the people that were undrafted that just might surprise us. Let's be fair to the Detroit Lions. Not just with Brad Holmes, but throughout most of their career or their history. The Detroit Lions have had a lot of success with undrafted free agent rookies. Some of them make the team. Some of them stick around for a while. Could any of these guys make it? Let's dive into it and see what you guys have to say. Mason Miller, he's probably my number 1 pick on this list. And we'll go into it here. Taylor Decker, we all know he's injured right now or whatever the situation is. He's listed on the pub list. I want to be also fair and say there are tons of photos of Lions vets coming in yesterday. They got the shoe boxes, backpacks, whatever it is. They're coming in. They know they're setting up shop for the foreseeable future. Taylor Decker is walking in, and you see video of him walking in from the parking lot. He doesn't appear to be hurt in any way, shape, or form. So maybe there's something we just don't know about that's transpired this offseason. Maybe he had some sort of cleanup procedure. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't seem like he's impacted limping in any way, shape, or form. I fully anticipate come week 1 of the regular season, Taylor Decker is going to be out there and be okay. With that also being said, though, Mason Miller is an intriguing prospect, one that is consistent with what this regime has focused on in multiple areas, not just the offensive line. We all know what Giovanni Manu, he was drafted, I should say, because he's a massive human being who is incredibly athletic, and they believe in their coaching staff to develop him. Mason Miller plugs into that 100%. He's another just rare diamond in the rough. For those who don't know, he's 6'7.5", has ideal size, but here's the other thing. He's got massive athleticism. He can float around and sting like a bee on the offensive line. If they really feel like this guy's got the ability to be developed by Hank Fraley or and other respective coaches on the offensive line, I'm not sure how you could let him go, because finding somebody who fits that criteria on planet Earth is dang rare, and that's what scouts do. They look for the rare and see if you can develop them. I'm rooting for him just because selfishly that would make the Detroit Lions, I think, a lot better. Jackson Meeks, now you saw on the 53-man roster list by Mike Payton, he makes it. He doesn't have quite the speed or raw athleticism that the Lions have really kind of flexed towards bringing in on the team in recent drafts. But let's also be fair. He is over 6'2". He can jump out of the gym. It means he can get up in the air. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but the ability to go get that 50-50 ball, he would be one of the rare ones on the Detroit Lions to be able to fit that. And we get with Tim Patrick's got some size. Jamison Williams, we often forget, he is 6'2". Yeah, he's not a small human being for a wide receiver spot. And Tesla is 6'4"-ish. So could he make his way on there? I think that his ability to win the 50-50 is going to be interesting, but if it's up to me, and it's not, so hey, this is just my opinion, I'm probably going for that last spot, Dominic Lovett, just because he does have more speed, more athleticism. You can use him on special teams, etc. That also being said, Jackson Meeks, he can go get the ball in the air, and if you're looking for someone who's maybe a red zone target, that might be the guy. All right, you do see this guy popping up on more and more lists. Why? Because his versatility, and that's tight end / fullback / running back / offensive lineman / whatever else you want to slash him with, and that's Zach Horton. He played at James Mason and Indiana in college. He was used all over the place. Like I just said, he played multiple different spots. For that particular reason, I understand why a lot of people are starting to say he's the guy that can make the team. We've talked about 2-back sets. We've talked about a little bit about the Lions bringing in some guys for workouts this week, running backs that seem to fit the fullback form. Zach Horton gives you all that while still giving you tight end play, while still giving you, the ability to go over to other spots. And I guess I'll let you guys Scooby-Doo where all he could play. He doesn't cost you much really to acquire him. It's not that I don't like Zane Zylstra, but I just think Horton, for what we're looking at with John Morton's offense, what I think MCDC wanted to trend more to offensively versus Ben Johnson's desires in recent seasons, I think he's probably overall the single best shot player. Not, I want Miller, but I think Zach Horton's probably the guy who has the best opportunity to make it. Yes, that is him, by the way, in case you guys ask in the thumbnail. Defensive end Keith Cooper Jr., when we go back to that 53-man roster breakdown that we had during the 5 headlines now, think about 10 defensive linemen to make this team. Think about all the quality guys who didn't make the team. We can all say what we want about Miles Adams. I think, man, that kid can play. Pat O'Connor, same thing. Chris Smith, same thing. Quinn Muhammad was probably one of the best stories last year as far as the developmental guy. Got him in and just watched how much he improved over the time. You can go through each of the guys out there, but I think where the hard part is for Keith Cooper, if those other guys are being let go, can he really beat them out? Everybody's got the same chance. I get it. Do it out on the field, do it out in the games, do it out on the practices, whatever. He's got as good a chance anyway. I just think he's got probably the hardest road of any of the undrafted free agents to make the team. Ian Kennelly, I know a bunch of guys are rooting for him because he's got massive size, massive athleticism, and if you watch his ball skills on tape, that's one thing that, as a scout, I don't scout football for full disclosure. I scout basketball. I just think when you watch him, there's certain things that at least I would say they're hardest to teach, and that's ball skills. When you see a guy keeping up with the receiver or tight end or whatever, and then instinctively gets the head and shoulders around, locates the ball, and is able to make a play for it, he does that. And there just ain't many safeties in the NFL that would have his size, athleticism, etc. He's a developmental project, though. Will he be able to turn enough heads in training camp to say, hey, we're going to keep one of those precious 53-man roster spots for this guy? You already have one rookie, who's more than likely going to make it in the safety room. And I think you guys all know that's Dan Action Jackson. But I'd be rooting for him. I just not sure where you put him. Are you going to knock out Maurice Norris? I don't know. Avonte Maddox, there's no way he's going off the list. Same with Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch. So only leaves a couple of spots. How do you get them on? Who do you kick off to keep them on? I think that's going to be one of the interesting questions with a lot of different positions, not just the safety position when we go into the season. All right, Duke Crew, I've rambled on about all these. Let me know your thoughts because, hey, this is as interactive a question for everybody as possible. Out of this list, who do you think makes it? Mason Miller is my guy that I would want to keep, but I do think the best opportunity for anybody to make it is going to be Horton. I'll say this right now. If he doesn't make the Zach Horton, that is, if he doesn't make the 53-man roster, I'm trying to think who you would keep that would take his role because he's pretty dang good at what he does and, blocking upfield, et cetera, yada, yada. So, all right, let's see what you guys have to say. Let me scroll to the top of the screen and get this part of the show rolling. Give me a second, if you would, please. And Michael D. Hey, Heavy D's in the house. Greetings, salutations, Coach and Dirk Crew, exclamation point, one pride. Woo! And back at you, JDC. Morning, all. Always good to see you, JDC. Carrie, morning, everyone. Woo! Who doesn't like to woo in the morning? Paperback fan, happy Sunday, Duke Crew. Let's go, Lions. We're all going, and good to see you, Paperback fan. I do love the thumbnail, by the way. Just greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. If it's not Lions Talk Live, it's just talk. You know what? I might have to use that sometime. That's not bad. I'm down with that. That sounds like a real 80s commercial type line there, but I thank you very much for that. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Come on, feel the noise. Hey, I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Exclamation point. Woo! So small. Good morning. Who is the person in the photo? I don't recognize him. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. I need to steal a G.I. Joe throwback for that. Johnny, good morning, folks. Hopefully you are doing well, Johnny, and recovering. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Glad we got all the rookies in. I doubt any of the undrafted players make the team. We are just too deep. We're dang deep. There's no doubt about it. Like when we had with the Yahoo Sports or A to Z Sports, 53-man roster, you look at all those guys who get cut at all different levels of the team, of the personnel packages. There's going to be a lot of teams, I think, trying to acquire those players for us, or at least some of them. We're going to probably get some draft picks for them. Maybe we make some trades for some players. I don't know, but I think the Lions are going to be in a real good spot regardless. Could there be any spots we really beef up via trade? We'll trade you this guy, that guy for it. I don't think it's cornerback. I don't think it's going to be safety. Linebacker, maybe some depth there. But, to be fair, Trevor Nowaski, he can play to some degree all three of the spots. I do think when Rodrigo gets back, man, that room gets real crowded. Zach Cunningham, he's got some experience definitely in the league. I just don't think he's great in pass defense, but just don't put him in that situation. Defensive line, man, if you get Za'Darius Smith on that list, this group gets pretty dang deep. But you are starting to see reports that maybe some other teams are going after him. I don't know. It'll be the fun of the preseason, seeing who goes where and does what. All right, Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Let the best players win. Prove their worth every day. Man, that's some coaching talk right there. Every challenge, 100%. Come out ready to win every challenge. Johnny, let's see. No one is going to give us anything, so we will just have to take it. Take it. Yep, that's what you do in athletics. You want it, you go get it. Drake, Coach, I've noticed just how different your thumbnails are compared to most of the other Lions shows. Is that intentional? Yes, it is. Question mark. Just a random Sunday morning question. No worries with it. So when I first started the show, I probably used a lot of the same schemes, color-wise and verbiage-wise that every other YouTuber does. And then one day I just said, let's make this thing easier to read, which is why I put the yellow throughout most of the background. I think it just makes it easier when you're scrolling through 50 billion different thumbnails. It pops out. You can read it clearly. Might not be the prettiest design of all time. I think there's a lot of how about this? I think just about every other Lions podcaster out there has got a better looking thumbnail than mine. I think mine just, with the yellow, it pops out a little bit more. I don't know. It's my thoughts. Mine I compare mine to a third grader with some crayons. That's probably about the fair comparison. I'd say, France, regarding the undrafted players, Thornton and Kennelly are the two with the best chance to make it, in your opinion? Yeah, both of them, I think, are good calls on that. I like Kennelly. I just think he needs time to grow. And can he get the time here? If not, he's going to get it somewhere because he is a raw athlete for sure. Just laughing out loud now that you pointed that out. Never really thought about that before, Drake. Good morning, crew, and back at you. The big week is finally here. It is, man. Hey, training camp is rip-roaring and ready to go. Central Scrutinizer, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke crew. Woo! And back at you, JDC, Motor City Duke crew. Hey, there's one and only, right? Susan, I think Netflix should do a show about the O&D lines. I won't be surprised if they do. They've done receiver. They've done, quarterback, probably running backs coming up. I don't know if they'll ever get to the point where they'll do one about, the punters and kickers, but they probably will evolve and slowly go through all the different spots. Most people just don't have the, knowledge about all the different positions. The easy ones to probably market and sell are the receivers and the quarterbacks, just because, the highlights, the videos, the stats, etc. Johnny L, let's go Detroit. Let's go and get this done. It's our time to shine. I like the way you're thinking. Silver, good morning, Coach and everyone. Same to you. So, will there be enough drama for that, Susan Scotts? Ooh, God, there's always drama on every position on the team. Let's be real. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and the Dooku. What a team. What a podcast, exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Thanks for all you do, Coach. Hey, thanks for all you guys do, being a part of the show. The show wouldn't work without people showing up, right? Johnny L, good morning, Silver, and same to you both. Silver, Johnny, waving. Jessica, good morning, all. First time back in a week. Family vacation is over and getting up and ready for the day. Let's go, Lions. Hey, welcome back. Hopefully it was a great vacation for you and the fam. Man Bear, good morning, all. Back at you. Five Fingers Freddy Martin better be ready from day one. If he's not, he's done. All right, I'll go with that. He's got every opportunity in front of him, like he did last year with all the gajillion injuries. If he has developed, it will be, without a doubt, a big win for the Lions because we know he's a massive human being. He's got wheels. He's got power. He's just got to win some leverage responsibilities. He does that. Hey, he's going to help this team. Remember, because I'm easy like Sunday morning. I like that. Who doesn't like a good Sunday morning? Steve Rogers, wish all days were easy like Sundays, Bear. I'd concur with all that. Silver, Zach Horton, question mark. If he can block and also play a great fullback, get him in. Young, willing, and could be used on big passes. I think Skipper might be the odd man out at this point if Manu pans out. Yeah, I think Manu, everything we saw last year really leads me to believe Skipper is probably in some level of the rest this season. I like Skipper. I think he gives you a lot, but he is 30. Manu is a little bit younger. Cheaper also comes into play. Manu can play guard and tackle, but so can Skip. Skip, we all know, can play the third tight end or blocking tight end. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be the great situation for the Detroit Lions and coaches, but also difficult because you've got such great talent. When they go to cut guys down, they're going to make some hard choices. And someone like Skipper, I'm not saying he's going to get cut, but he's been here a while. Same with Khalif Raymond. I believe both of these gentlemen and others probably understand they need to have good camps, or there's at least some level of possibility they could be supplanted. Johnny, some of the most beautiful women are right here on Lions Talk Live. I don't disagree. Silver, and now I am thinking Decker out. Question mark. What happens if Decker goes out? Who plays? Could it be Skipper? I thought he did a decent job last year. Could it be Giovanni Manu? Yes. Could it be somebody else we're not yet considering? Also true. Hookadoo. Morning, Duke crew. Be careful, Bo. You're going to start a not-so-quiet riot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Quiet riot, man. Back in the day. I do remember them. Tori Apple, I just don't understand how Martin hasn't panned out more so far. He seems to have all the tools. Yeah, I think it's just some of it that when they traded up to get him, they understood he'd be a project. Did they anticipate it would take 3 years to unveil that project? Probably not. But let's also be fair. He would not be the first, nor will he even be a small majority of Lions or other team players that take several seasons to really develop. We all want the rookies to be shiny and come in and get gold jackets the moment they hit the field. That doesn't happen very often. There are very few St. Brown's, Christian Mahogany's, or whoever else you want to put on that list that just come and shine. You look at Derek Barnes, it took him to basically year 3 before he really started making an impact. So I think there's enough evidence to suggest Martin could really pan out. But again, until it happens, doesn't matter what we think. He's got to go out and do it. Pat, good morning, Duke Crew. Time to lace them up and get to work. Super Bowl or bust. I like it, man. Where's Donkey Kong at, man? It's been a minute. Chuck, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Super Bowl bound. Woo! I think we are, man. I think we are out there to win it this year. Trey, really going to enjoy the preseason this year. Want to see players like Reich, Baki, and the rookies, see what they all have. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun watching them all. I know we're all going to want to see the quarterbacks, go out there. Can Hendon Hooker shine? Can, Kyle Adams shine? Or whoever else they bring in. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those games. Trim Raver, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Woo! Back at you. Derek, good morning, and back at you. 70, does Meeks have a shot at the team? He does, man. He does. He's going to be different. Maybe that'd be one of the nice things about him. He's going to be different than some of the other receivers, maybe even a lot of the receivers in what his strengths are. He's very physical and physically gifted. He doesn't have the games, he doesn't have the speed of Meeks, or excuse me, not Meeks, Lovett or J-Mo or Tesla or some of the other guys, but he has other skill sets that maybe some of those guys don't. We'll see what shakes. All right, Silver Tori Apple, if you're talking about Broderick Martin, well, as I said before, size is his forte, but explosiveness and speed, I have never seen them. Strength, question mark, is he strong? Who knows? I think he's got all the physical tools. I just don't know if he's got the technique. Now, the good thing with technique, you can teach it. I'm just surprised, again, referring last year, that he didn't get out there more and more with all the injuries. Coach Rock, good morning all. Same to you. Adore K, Bears fans are on Facebook NFC Trash Talk page saying we're not going to win the division because we lost our key players and coaches. Well, I think all that is, K, is that they're hopeful we don't win it this year. Because we all get it. They couldn't beat us when we had everybody on the defense sitting on the sidelines, sipping margaritas because they were all beat up and injured. They couldn't beat us, whatever. So now if we lose our coaches and still beat them, man, it's going to be a bad time to be a Chicago Bears fan. Johnny L. still waiting for Big Z to show up. I think we all are, my friend. Hookadoo. Rock has entered the building and is here to spread some grit. I'll go with that. Exclamation point. Donkey Kong. Hey, speaking of Donkey Kong, Big Z will never be a Lion again unless he is going to play defensive tackle. Man, I don't know. He's going to have to eat or drink a few Mountain Dews to bulk up to be defensive tackle, but see if he can do it. Jeffrey, what do you got? The journey begins to the Super Bowl. Let's enjoy. Exclamation point. Go Lions and Duke Crew. Back at you. Good to see you, my friend. Hot second since it's been. Hookadoo, you and me, Johnny L. I'm getting a little nervous about Z. Me too, man. We'll see what shakes out. Coach Tanya Kate, hey, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's make today a great day. I like the way you're thinking. I see Anzalone didn't show up yesterday. What's your take on that, Coach? Man. I hope it doesn't get to that. How about that? I hope it doesn't go to that level, but I think most of us know. Come tomorrow if he's not here, or come today if he's not here, later today, and then tomorrow. That's probably tomorrow morning's talking point, unfortunately, because Alex Anzalone at that point has probably fired the first official shot. If you don't pay me, I'm probably sitting out this year. Hey, you got to make a business decision, I guess, right? Silver Coach, I really wish Lions are really strong with big running back, fullback. I think it would be perfect to wear down defense at some point in the game. Monty is big, but am I thinking about a 250-pound linebacker? Running back. I wonder who you could get that would fit that description, though. That's got to be worthy of giving him one of the spots. There's a lot of guys that are big, but are they going to be worthy of being one of the 53 people on the roster? I don't know. Donkey Kong, Silver, just watch how Brad builds and takes good notes. We'll do just that. Carrie, don't worry, be happy. If Decker goes out, we have Jamarco and Mahogany to fill in the void. A much younger combo to fill the void. I'll go with that. Silver, AA didn't show up. Did not like and surprise me. Yeah, we'll have to find out. Again, I'll be paying attention today and then obviously tomorrow morning. If he's not in, that will probably be the topic tomorrow morning. Robert, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew, and Dan, let the fun begin. Exclamation point, taking care of business every day. Yes, we'll be working overtime with that business. Chad, this historian, Hello, young skipper. Hope everybody treats you well, and hopefully you all have a great day today. Mr. Fulton, good morning. Dan, today is my 26th birthday. I think you said something about that earlier this week, but either way, man, it's your birthday. Let's go celebrate with a 1, 2, and a 3. Happy birthday, my friend. Enjoy it. Make it a great one. Silver, happy birthday then. Johnny, happy birthday, Mr. Fulton. Hookadoo, happy birthday, Mr. Fulton. Till the hunt, Zadarius Smith's stories are all just speculation until he signs. Reporters are being reporters. 100% with that. No disagreement for me whatsoever. Hookadoo, Mr. There you go. There be 08. Greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and Crew. Back at you. Any more? Happy birthday, Silver. Okay, Jamarco Jones, but last year was never in, and we had Skipper, who is not starting material. Bless him. Yeah, they had to go with him for a reason. I actually didn't think Skipper did a bad job. He was perfect, but you got a backup in. They had enough confidence in Skipper not to flex Panay over, because then I get it. You got him out of position too. They try to keep it as right as rain. I think we also get it. Skipper starts, and it's the time that Goff has 5 picks. Probably not a quinky dink there, but who knows? Let's see. Fisher, what do you got? Good morning, everyone. Exclamation point. Go Lions. Back at you. Hopefully you're having a great day. Love the thumbnail, by the way. Lionel, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew worldwide. Exclamation point. Happy Sunday. I'm looking to see Jamari Small, Tyson Wilson show up and out. That running back room is going to be tough to breach, though. Lightning and Thundercats. Ho! And back at you. Hopefully, yeah, you're 100% right, though. Every position on this team is going to be difficult to make, but also to maintain your spot. Cynthia, as to the resigning of Z, I hope Brad and MCDC have a strong plan B. We'll have to wait and see. Rondo of North Carolina, I believe Z wants more than a 1-year contract. Brad most likely offered due to cash needed for 2026 contract updates for young studs. Yeah, could be 100% that. Until then, according to YouTube videos I saw the last month, Zadarius has signed with Chicago, Washington, Baltimore, and Detroit 16 times. Man, I don't know if that will fly with the NFLPA, but hey, if you can get 16 different contracts from 4 different teams, he's going to have a good payday. Cynthia, and good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Happy Sunday. Back at you. Adora K. Cynthia, what do you have to say about Bears fans saying we're not winning the division this year because we lost Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and Ragnar? Hey, teams lose players all the time and coaches. You have to overcome the challenge. I think we'll do it. We've got the personality before it. That's just my opinion, though. Okay. Jason Mary, Coach, what do you think? Where do we think we rank in terms of running back rank? I think we're pretty dang good. I think we're going to keep 4 running backs. I don't think we're going to keep 3 on the 53-man roster. The only way, Jason, I see us only keeping 3 is if we are going to flex some of the receivers into it. Now, where would I rank us overall in the NFL? I'd probably say top 5, maybe top 2 or 3. It's nothing against other teams, but I think most around the NFL would agree Gibbs is that dude. Whether or not you want to call him the best running back in football, I think Barkley's year last year has got to keep him there. Whether you want to list somebody else above him too, that's going to be up to the viewer. I think we can all agree Gibbs is one of the best running backs out there. Dave Montgomery, he may not be top 10, but he's just that pantheon below. Right there, you got a 1-2 combo that most teams simply don't have. So I'm going to say the Lions running back room, especially I think Baki's pretty dang good. Until he does it in an NFL game, it doesn't matter what I think. He's got to do it. But I think with just those 3, and then whoever else you add to number 4, I would put us in the top 5. At the minimum, top 5 across the NFL. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see, Hookadoo. If Z doesn't come back, it will be Ahmed Hassanin's time to shine. I agree. I think he's going to rise and elevate pretty quickly. Coach, some time ago, I heard Jeff Risdon citing inside information saying the Lions are very happy with their edge/defensive end situation, even without Z. Of course, this was before Levi injury. I think, if we go back to, just the one we talked about in the 5 headlines now, you look at that defensive line rotation. Aiden Hutchinson, pretty good, I think most would agree. DJ Reader, maybe not great, but he's sound. Josh Pascal, he probably is one I would say if you could improve upon on the depth chart, I would. It's not that I don't like the guy, the human being, the captain within him, but he's got to stay healthy, and that's something he hasn't been able to do. Mekhi Wingo is going to be slow to get back because of the knee injury, etc. Zadarius Smith, he's got him on this list, right? But has he signed with the team? No, so I'm not going to put him on the list. Roy Lopez, pretty good. Tyreek Williams, we're assuming. Hassanin, we're assuming. Marcus Davenport, if he can stay healthy. Mitchell Aguiye. I think we all get it. When you look at that list, that's a whole lot of good talent. And yes, they do have Zadarius Smith on there. But again, until he signs, I don't know if I keep him on the list. Cynthia, Dora K, good morning. Exclamation point. I think that's a bunch of baloney. All right, I'll go with that. Carrie, Adora Kate, that's all about the toilet seat fans can talk about because they've been in the basement not being good for so long. Yeah, they haven't been good for a while. They're very envious, probably of the Packers, the Lions, everybody else in between, because let's face it, in the last 20 years, the Lions the Lions have beaten out somebody. I get the last 5 years we've been pretty good, but in the last 20 we have not. And the worst team in the NFC North during the last 20 years is the Chicago Bears. And I know Bears fans, someone watching the show right now, are like, what are you talking about? Who's got the better winning percentage? The Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, the last 20 years. You probably already know the answer. Adora K, we shall see, Cynthia, and good morning. Look at you, Adora K. Bears fans are just upset because they have been in the basement for the division the last 2 years. Yeah, they've been down there for a while. Silver Surf, man, what is it? Question mark. Everybody is out and camp hasn't even started? Question mark. We better stay humble here and follow Detroit step by step instead of yelling Super Bowl. I guess I keep that old Lions fan mind frame. Hey, a lot of teams are going to have some guys injured right now. Really, nobody's missed any kind of real lengthy time yet. The things will get going this week, as we all know. We'll have to wait and see how many of these guys are really out for a while or not. Levi, we know, is going to be out for a bit of a minute. Let's see, Pat, does AA get fined if he holds out, play his last year of his contract? Yes, he will get fined if he misses time, for sure. I don't know the particulars, how much or anything like that. Brad Holmes can always, I guess, waive it, but I do think it's in all the players' contracts that if you're not injured and you choose to not attend, then yes, you get fined. Carrie, happy birthday, Mr. Fulton, and have a great day. 100%. Enjoy your birthday, my friend. JDC, Silver Sir, I agree, but from the deep end of the pool, Lions go 17-0! Exclamation point. I'm down with that. Silver Server, JDC, is laughing, praying for the Lions to be strong. Pat Server, I agree a lot of talk about Super Bowl. I'm an old guy and think the same way. It happens, man. Hookadoo. According to that guy, Bears fans, last year, the Bears were going to win the division. I do seem to remember something about the bet of destiny or whatever it was. Broski did bet, Anthony, as most of you guys know, said the Lions weren't going to sweep the Bears. Bears are going to win the division, whatever. And obviously we know that did not happen. Silver Star, make it 20-0 then. JDC, let's go 20-0. That'd be a great year. Cynthia, Hassanin will be a beast. I concur. Here's Johnny 2.0. Happy Lions training camp Sunday. I am back at you, my friend. Enjoy it. JDC, it's a new season. New this, new that. Go Lions. I agree with all of that. Gary, skip the Bears, Caleb, and the seats. We'll go with that. JDC, Bears, Monsters of the Midway. They still are. Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? What's up, Professor Steele? How you doing? Carrie, Broski licks dirty shorts. Might be true. Might be very true. Hookadoo, top of the morning, Professor Steele Grit. I'm down with that. JD in Florida. 2 offensive injuries might be 7 and 10. We'll see. We'll see. Chuck, I can't wait to see what this defense will do from game 1 to game 20. Get the Z situation taken care of on way or the other. One way or the other, yeah. If we don't sign Z, I would have to say that would tell me that both MCDC and Brad Holmes had a conversation and they just believed that some of the other guys were equal to or even better than Zadarius Smith. But I do think we'd be better with him. Of course, I don't work with the guy, so I don't know. Silver, I can see that we are starting quite a few handicaps. Now I'm down with that, but that makes me want to follow the Lions soap opera close every day. See how it unravels, how it works, how it comes together. If it does, it will. I think positive, but I'm a positive Pete by nature. JDC Magic 8 Ball says defense wins the big one. I concur. Xavier, good morning, Duke Crew. Go Lions! Exclamation point. Woo! They're going to underestimate this team because offense and defense will come through. I think we will, man. I think we're going to have pretty good offense and defense. Gary, I see the blind man. Says the blind man. Yes, the blind man can see the where the lines are going. Silver Server, by the way, I remember Chris Smith being very explosive with Notre Dame. Big, he is big. Liam says he is the strongest pushing the bench press. Who knows? Hope Lions have aces up their sleeves. I think they will. And again, to your point, if he doesn't make the Lions 53-man roster, that's a pretty good player who's not making it, and I think we all get it. That means the other guys were clearly better, which means, man, we're we're probably going to be pretty deep across the board. Phil, good morning. Back at you. Oh, yeah, M, says Phil. And Phil with a big P for a thumbnail. Walt Marks, good morning. Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Woo! Back at you. Jacob, the core of this team is already set for years to come. No worries. We've been drafting like Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s. We have, man. And I know we don't always like to talk about some of the other franchises, but I do think Brad Holmes paid attention to what the Rams were doing when he was there, what the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, you could even argue, Green Bay Packers of the last, 20, 30 years. These franchises have been fairly consistent over that time frame, and there's been other ones for sure, but I think you get it. The Lions, they've kind of taken from those mantras, applied them to this organization, and thankfully, we're one of the better organizations in the NFL now. Remember, you can call me anything you want, but don't call me that. We won't call you Shirley. Johnny, Thunder and Lightning, baby. Oh yeah, I'm down with that. Silver Coach, I wrote it yesterday, but it was last comment, and nobody ever saw it. I write it again. Wanted to thank you for being a great host. You put up with all of us, and we all want it our way. Hey, man, it's part of being here. I think we have a good thing with the Duke crew, so hey, whatever you guys want to do, just let me know. JDC, woo, back at you. Kurt MCD press conference at 8 a.m. this morning. Training camp is here, baby. I think we'll all be watching it in just a couple minutes here. Johnny, Sonic, and Knuckles. Woo! Oh, yeah, I'm down with that, man. I messed that one up. Walt made a live show. Woo! Hey, welcome back, Walt. Ready for the season, right? Getting ready. Silver Server. Chris Steele, thank you. We'll follow. I think we all will. Kerry, thank you, Mr. Steele. JDC, Trio Destiny, rocks, and 100%, my friend. Chris Steele, can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning for our Season 2 premiere. We're bossing up and balling out. I think we'll all be gathering around and watching, my friend. Central Scrutinizer, let the crashes game begin. It takes more grit. Let's go, Lions, one pride. Woo! I'm there with that. Chris Hill, no problem, on the Lions YouTube channel. Yes, it will be. No problem. It will be on the Lions YouTube channel for sure. Silver Server, Manu is a freak. If he anchors you, look out. Tractor coming. I'm down with that. Jacob, we must be aware that some of these decisions will be financial decisions rather than strictly athletic abilities. I think the Fords got Brad Holmes on a budget. That's why Smith is not here. Could be. It could be, man. And who knows all the Scooby-Dooing of it. Central Scrutinizer, we have a wonderful and productive day. Everyone, have a wonderful and productive day yourself, my friend. Jacob, let's be clear. Skipper is a novelty item. There are other guys more talented. I'll go with that. Silver Server, remember Charles Way, fullback, halfback for the Giants, question mark. That would be the cherry on the cake, 250-pound rumbling power. Let's dream, Coach. We'll see if we can go get him. JDC, Jacob, what goes behind closed doors? I will never know. Lots of wheeling and dealing. 100%, man. There's always something being flipped around. Coach Rock, good morning. Hookadoo, may the grit be with you. Ooh, that's a good saying, especially on May 4th. Silver Server, Manu and Skipper are not physically comparable. One is very committed player, the veteran who knows the game and gives his all. Manu is a powerhouse, a Sasquatch who is to learn everything. Yeah, and hopefully he's learning quickly. JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions. I concur. Trim Reaver, maturity isn't an age. It is a destination, my friend, said Scott Mitchell. Coach Rock, Skipper has been cut before. It's time. He may take a coaching position to spread the woo around. I'm down with that. Could be just that. Hookadoo, Coach Rock, always got to bring the grit. You got to bring the grit, 100%. Check him. JDC, no doubt. All right. JDC, Dre Force rocks, and he rolls. Walmart, hit the like button for Dan and the new crew. Woo! Back at you. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. All right, Hookadoo. The bet of the century was our Lions sweeping the Bears last year, and yes, we did. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Thank you for clarifying that. Fisher, what do you got? Prediction after production, speculation, and more speculation. Neutron words, satisfaction of winning, and revelation of the world that the Lions are the best team in the NFL. Hey, we live in bold new times, my friend. Yes, the Lions may be the best team in the NFL. For sure, first time I've made it here live, exclamation point. So cool. Hey, well, welcome on in. Be a part of the new crew, my friend. JDC, Hookadoo, yep, exclamation point. And it was a glorious celebration, 100%, 100%. And I give Broski credit. He did pay up. Say what you want about him, but he did pay up when he lost. Big D, yo, better late than never, 100%. I'm down with that. Hookadoo, well, welcome in, Miss Milfinch Fisher, Lions Talk Live welcomes your grit. I'm down with that. Remember, see you soon, Professor Steele. We'll see you all there. Carrie, happy trails. Have a blessed Sunday. Stay safe and go Lions. I'm down with that. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. There be 08. The Lions be ready to ball out. Oh, yeah. I think we'll be ready to boss up and ball out. See what I did there? Henry, have a blessed day, Duke Crew. Same to you. Trimmer Reaver, have a great day. Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation point. Woo! Hit all the buttons, says there, BOA. Hasadine Medley, good morning. And back at you. Good afternoon to you. Johnny L, see you tomorrow morning, folks. We'll see you then. Happy Hookadoo. Happy trails. Duke Crew, one pride worldwide. Grit always wins. It does indeed. All right, guys, go get ready for the MCDC presser. If there is some the real noteworthy announcements there, I'll probably try to come back on air a little bit later today. I've got some work stuff to do today, et cetera, et cetera. So, hey, do me a favor before checking out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. And we'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. Have a great Sunday.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to the Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism? How Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology? Or nuclear power?